Hey, what up guys? Sanitary here. Welcome to Healthy Meal Prep episode number 2. If you missed the first one, I'll put that video in the description box. So in today's Healthy Meal Prep, we're going to be making some barbecue chicken with some other sides, greens and a complex carb, and also some homemade turkey chili, which I'll get to in a second. So let's start off with the chicken. I separated two because I'm making it actually for a buddy, and I might be doing some on my own meal services eventually in the future for some local people. But these are organic chicken thighs. I trimmed off the majority of the fat. You don't have to get too crazy with it, but some people leave it on. I cut a little bit. And it's a really easy recipe for my really old subscribers, but I do have some new ones. So this is just some recipe secrets onion soup mix right here. And feel free to use your own barbecue sauce, your favorite one. Now, barbecue sauce does have a lot of sugar. They have other options. If you look online, Walden Farms has a 0 carb one, but for my purpose and for right now, I don't need to, so I'm using just a Sweet Baby Ray's, and you can control the portions. But definitely go online, type in low carb barbecue sauce, and there's tons of them. That's a good option. So this is really easy. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to be using this as kind of like your dry rub, and you just want to pour the contents into the bowl. So let's go and do that. You want to just pour it in there. I like to pour a little bit at a time. Use your hands and just start mixing it. To do a little at a time, and then just add some more. Really get in there. That looks pretty good. Alright, so once you do that, now you want to pour in some barbecue sauce. There. And then start mixing. And even though I'm using regular barbecue sauce, if you don't want to get the low carb option, you got to realize that 2 tablespoons of regular barbecue sauce is 18 carbohydrates. Now, if you spread this over a few meals, you're not getting that many carbohydrates. But if you are a definite low carber or you're doing a keto diet, then you can go less conservative. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much as long as you're active and you're eating healthy for the most part and not getting extra sugar from like soda and candy and sweets all the time, you're gonna be fine. Then I got some nonstick spray, and then I'm just gonna put it on here. Then you want to put these in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes, or an internal temperature of 160 to 165 Fahrenheit. So let's go and do that. All right guys, moving right along to the turkey chili. So what I have here is some organic turkey, certified free range. Feel free to get what you like. To get the ground turkey. Ground turkey is a great alternative to red meat. The red meat, you probably want to minimize that because of the trans fats and saturated fats. So this is a great option, and you're not going to really be able to tell the difference. Trust me on that. We're going to be putting it in the crock pot eventually, but first we need to cook it down. All right, once it's done, we're going to be transferring it over to the crock pot. And try to avoid just dumping it all in, because you're going to have some excess water and you don't want to put that in there. Next, we're going to add some organic diced tomatoes. These are 28 ounces a piece, but you want about 50 ounces. So I took out a little bit, as you can tell right here, beforehand. So it's about 50 ounces, or a little less than 2 cans. So that's going right into the pot. And the second can, or most of it, 1 can of tomato sauce, about 29 ounces, right into the pot. 1.5 cups of chopped white onion. Half a cup of green chopped bell pepper. Right here I have a combination of red beans and black beans, 1 can each, about 30 ounces. Be sure when you open the can, make sure to rinse it and drain it because you don't want all that extra liquid. So as you can tell, it's pretty dry now. I mean, there's a little bit, but you don't want that extra moisture. And this is all to taste, depending how spicy you want it. Cayenne pepper. It all depends on how spicy you want it. Half a teaspoon of dried oregano. 1.5 teaspoons of dry cumin. And 1/4 of a cup of chili powder. Because it's a bigger quantity, I'm not gonna eyeball it, so I'm actually gonna measure it. So I got a 1/4 of a cup right there. This is the big one. So this one you might wanna measure. All right, now let's mix it all together. I know it's a lot going on, but try to get to the bottom and just mix it all up. You want to infuse all the flavors. All right, look at that. It's gonna look even better afterwards. Right on top, let's move it over. Plug it in. Once that's in, I'm gonna be putting it on the setting of high for 4 hours because I'm on time constraints. Or you can do a low setting for 8 to 10 hours. All right, let's go to high for 4 hours. All right, the chicken is done. I'm gonna glaze a little bit more, just barbecue sauce on top, just a little bit. All right, moving on to the next step, and that is the vegetables. You gotta get in your greens. Now, you may be thinking, I don't like to eat vegetables very often, but this is a real healthy and tasty way. This is oven roasted on a sheet pan. This is broccoli, and we have some sweet potatoes and some zucchini. And really, really easy. Get a bowl, salt and pepper, and drizzle it in olive oil and just mix it up and you put it on. Now, you could put them both on into the oven at the same time, but based on my experience, you want to distribute the heat evenly. You want to get a good char at a 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 to 15 minutes. And be sure to just watch it. But based on my experience, like I said, I like to put one at a time because sometimes the heat doesn't distribute properly and you get some that are not as charred and some more flaccid than others. So I'm gonna be putting in this sheet first because the sweet potatoes take a little bit longer. I'm gonna put that in. 450, about 10 minutes, and once that's done, I'll put in the next batch of broccoli. All right, look at that. Looks completely delicious and a little bit charred. And one thing I did want to say is, if you're gonna eat this immediately, then you can be a little bit more aggressive in terms of letting it sit in the oven longer. But if you're gonna be eating it later in the microwave, you probably want to go a little bit more conservative because you don't want to overcook it. So that being said, got some meals right here. These are for my buddy right here. And then also there's Orion meals, and let's transfer some of these over. So as you can tell, I'm going low carb this week for me. I'm just going with just the vegetables and the protein. This is a great approach if you're trying to lean out. And if you're more, I guess you could say, quote, off season, or it's still healthy, but you get a little bit more carbs, then you can get a starch, which is the white rice. And then on this one, we have the grilled zucchini and broccoli. As you can see, got the barbecue chicken, but my buddy's gonna get lucky this week and he's getting some roasted sweet potatoes, absolutely delicious on the pan as well. And then he's gonna get those meals, and it's a short work week, so we only have to work 4 days this week, which is great. And then we're gonna be getting that turkey chili, which is gonna be a few more hours, but we'll get that going. So once that's done, I'll show you the finished product once the turkey chili is done, and that'll be it. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a little over 4 hours. I ran some errands earlier. It's Sunday, so anyway, look right here. Turkey chili is all done, and it looks absolutely delicious. I'm gonna pour a little bit in this Pyrex Tupperware. Yeah, just put that in right here. Just gonna eyeball it. I'll just do that for right now, and then I'll add or more if I need to, if there's any left over. So I had some other meals in the fridge, just as a visual. So one for my buddy, one for me, and I got another one just like this and another one for my buddy. But pretty much that's how I'm going today, or this week I should say, the barbecue chicken. If you want to go low carb option right here, you're dieting, stick with just the vegetables and protein, you're in good shape. If you want to be a little bit more flexible, you can do the same thing, add another carb right here, and same thing with the turkey chili. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next episode for healthy meal prep, and I'll see you next time. Bye. The thing you want to do is make your marinade. So add some garlic, habanero peppers, allspice, thyme, cinnamon,